Well, there's something to talk about today. There is a feud, I guess you could call it, between a couple of different channels. I saw this video listed by Dimo, who I am subscribed to. I'm just on incognito mode, just for simplicity's sake. Pull everything up, kind of on a clean slate without any interruptions. But Dimo, he's a guy that plays a lot of Dark and Darker. He makes all kinds of content. We can open up his channel just for reference. Like, you can see that he has all these videos, right? You scroll all the way down, and he's pretty consistent. Like, he posts a couple videos a month. I'm not entirely sure how many. I'm subscribed to quite a few people. But it looks like he started 8 months ago, from today's date, which is August 12th. But he's got all kinds of, in my opinion, really cool thumbnails. I feel like, the little screenshots he has of the builds that he goes for, and the, clearly photoshopped in weapons or the abilities and things. I think he's got a really cool style going on. But I've watched quite a few of his videos. I think he does a good job with explaining builds. The way he talks, it sounds like he has a lot of game knowledge. If you watch any of his videos, he typically breaks down what he does, how he does it, the kits that he buys, the gear, right, the weapons and armor. Now if we go to this guy, videos, if we go down to the bottom of his, he's been around for a year. His first video has 26,000 views. It seems like he gets a decent amount of views, between as high as 26. I think some of his most recent ones, this one's 36. This is his controversial video that I'm going to talk about here in a second. He gets a couple thousand views pretty consistently. Obviously, anybody's channel is gonna, dip and rise. He gets at least 10,000 on the lower end. It seems like about 10,000, and on the higher end about 40,000, which is pretty good. This is my first real video that I'll be releasing on this channel. But it looks like he's slowly gained a following. He has 20,000, just about 21,000 subscribers. WilsonsGame has about 6,000. So not nearly as many as Dimo has. But in Dimo's video, this one, Accused of Cheating, he talks about how he was actually inspired by this guy. Or at least this guy was one of his inspirations to make Dark and Darker content. And then all of a sudden, and this is where we get into the drama, WilsonsGame clearly in this video accuses Dimo of cheating. And in his video, Dimo's video, he responds to this video about how he was accused of cheating by this guy. Now this guy's video, in my opinion, has some pretty weak quote unquote evidences. Let me pull up this one. If you just search Dimo, you'll see Dimo's video. I haven't watched this one yet, but it looks like this is another video where he goes over the cheating situation. And then this guy, in my view, he's the Dark and Darker content creator. He is addressing this. Even he doesn't think that Dimo is cheating. But let's go over this video by WilsonsGame. I'll put it into theater mode and then we'll play a little bit of it. I think I'm going to fast forward a little bit. He goes through a couple of clips, which I'll say more about it after we watch. But he starts by saying he wanted to learn about, cheats in Dark and Darker, which, in my opinion, is ironically a little bit suspicious. Not that, you can't be curious about cheats, obviously. And these are his thumbnails for his other videos, right? I'm assuming he's run into cheaters, and I have heard of cheaters in Dark and Darker. I haven't really seen cheaters in Dark and Darker, though. Maybe once or twice. And maybe it is harder to notice. I'm not really sure. But you don't really see many. I guess wall hacks or ESP would be harder to detect. I'm not one who's looked into that stuff. But if we go ahead and just play this video. Let me rewind real quick. There's some point in the video. Okay, this is him. He dies. There's one point in the video. Okay, yeah, here we go. He is not blurring Dimo's name here. You can clearly see that says Dimo. Here, if you look really close, which I know it's pretty hard to see, even if I go in, that says Dimo. Uncle Dimo. Dimo again. Dimo again. For some reason, he's blurring this bottom part out, which I'm really confused by. If you're not going to blur it out here at all, and you're not going to blur it out here, why are you blurring out the health? That, in my opinion, doesn't seem to help your case if you're trying to accuse somebody of cheating. Not to mention, why are you kind of blurring this and not the rest of it? And then on that other part, why are you blurring the bottom of the map? And these items, why wouldn't you want us to know what he has? Why does that matter? And if somebody can, tell me why they would even be considering doing this in the comments, that'd be great. I'm genuinely confused on that one. But let's go back. Let's watch some of these accusations. This first part is kind of weird because he kind of just threw some clips together, and there's not really much context to it. But let's go ahead and watch this. So he starts off, he doesn't even address that it's Dimo, but like I was already showing you, you can see it sometimes in the bottom corner as he's spectating, which he's about to talk about. Again, it's blurred. Why is this blurred here? That doesn't really make any sense. And then you see, oh, there's a kill. Yeah, some dude named Trump Farmer killed Angry Goober with a stiletto dagger. I don't understand why he's even pointing that out. It doesn't seem to fit into the context of what he's trying to say. Also, how does he know he's a couple modules away? He doesn't know within the context of this, unless he was in this game and remembers for some reason. He would have no idea where these people are. No idea. He'd also have no idea that it's a third party. Well, that's not fair to say, I guess. If it's a stiletto dagger, you can typically assume it's a rogue, which you can see here. Which, yeah, I guess it could be a third party. And maybe that's, well, wait. This guy killed this guy, then this guy killed this guy? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like, look at all these clips that are just taken out of context, and I don't even know what he's talking about here. Oh, look, he unstealthed behind a guy like a rogue does and stabs him. Then he saw a ranger. Where did you see a ranger in that clip? Did you see a ranger in this clip? Not this clip. This clip. He saw a ranger? That's not even the same area. This area he's in currently, this one, is where there's those obstacles that shove out and shove you down into this pit. if you get hit by him. This area, not this one, this brief area he shows is in another completely different area with the what do you call those? The lifts, the little lifts that go up and down. And then he cuts to, watch the map, completely different area. What's he talking about here? Okay, there was the ranger, my bad on that. What do you mean perfect cut? Perfect, like you did a perfect cut? He did a perfect cut? These are different. Also look at the character right here in the bottom left corner. Different. What is he talking about? The way he's talking is as if these are all the same, but they're literally just not the same at all. I get that he's setting up, what he's trying to talk about here, but it's not making sense. Right off the get-go, it's not making sense. Also, he's showing all these clips without sound or context. When Dimo, this guy that he's like accusing of cheating and making this video about, when Dimo posts his videos, again, if you watch any of his videos, he walks you through exactly what he does. He tells you his thoughts as he's making moves. He hears things. He has played a lot of the classes. He makes videos for like all the classes. He does detailed walkthroughs. He understands the metas, right? The perks that people are most likely going to use. He understands the game mechanics more than probably most people do. Oh yeah, he looks at the wall. Guess what? There's a strat in this game where you move faster if you look towards the direction you're going. So he's trying to keep himself moving at a faster rate, but being able to avoid attacks. He also explains, Dimo does in his response to this video, that if you take damage, which is a mechanic in the game, to your shoulder or to your arm, you're going to take less damage than if you get hit on the chest, hit in the head. Your limbs are obviously going to do less damage. So he's moving sideways so he can take less damage. It's as simple as that for this. I've done that before where I move in weird ways because this game has some, forgive me if I'm being offensive, some janky movements. You have some janky mechanics in this game, but it's fun in its own right. Let's keep going. Wonder where he's going. Sorry I'm pausing so much. He was literally running away. From that. Did you see that? Did you see that centipede there? He's running away from a centipede. And then this is another different area. He's blurring out the face again. This might be the same character that he was just showing you. It could also be a completely different run. And then I think he clips these out later on into their own distinct segments with slightly more context. But anyway, sorry for interrupting so much. I want to point out like every inconsistency that this guy is saying. I don't think it's cool that he's trying to expose somebody for cheating with such little evidence to support his case. Why does he clip from that last one to this one? This is a different situation. And again, there's no context. And all of a sudden he's saying, oh, how did he know where this warlock was? Well, guess what? He was probably chasing after him, probably assumed that he was just right there because, I don't know, if you look at the map, which he cut out of this video clip at the beginning here anyway, you can't even tell where he is. But maybe he was following him around a corner and this door was already gone. Maybe they'd been kind of circling. Maybe he went in here and just drank a potion. And, the difference between movement speeds of the characters and the gear, maybe it was too fast for this guy to just have disappeared. And, there's this thing called an invisibility potion in this game, which most everybody knows about, I would assume. Maybe not everybody uses them, but I'm sure a lot of people do. If you use an invisibility potion, you have to stand still. You can't move. If you move or get hit, you will become visible again. Also, it's a common practice for players to be running, to get out of line of sight around the corner of a door in a little gap where you wouldn't be able to see them. And maybe he was worried and thought, oh, maybe I can drink a potion, right? Drink this invisibility potion, and he'll just keep running and try to find me. But Dimo is a really smart player. He always walks you through his thought process. It's pretty self-explanatory when you think about it. Sorry for the long-windedness of this video. If you can't tell, I'm a little, up in arms. I'm a little bothered by people coming out against each other. Anyway, let's keep playing. Let's just go on. So here he's telling his background of like, oh wow, I used to look up to this guy, I used to watch his content and stuff, and I used to think that like he was just a really good player. I wanted to be like him. I'm paraphrasing mostly, but I think this is him playing, and he's blurred out his own name, or maybe it is Dimo, I don't remember, but so this is Dimo. He's blurring out his name, but he reveals it kind of later on. This is Dimo playing on this character. Oh wow, so suspicious. Guess what? The torch is off. Torches aren't usually off. And if you see a torch off, typically that means somebody could be hiding. So as soon as he comes through that door... Also, rogues can move when they're invisible. And again, while you can hear the sound, he clips this out of context again. He's gone back and forth between these two guys, but he doesn't really show a proper situation. We don't know if this guy moves based on this clip that we're watching alone. He comes in here. The rogue has moved a little bit, right? If you turn and shift, it does make noises with your feet as you turn. So Dimo's response video, he addresses that and says, in this clip specifically that we're watching, Dimo's right here. Dimo was coming through the door. He saw the torch was out. He heard this guy's movement. You can't see these glowing things from this perspective, right? If you're Dimo and you're coming in here, you won't be able to see these glowy weapon features. You'll not see anybody, but you can still hear people move even if they're invisible. He says he watched it so many times and there's no way that he would have, this Dimo, right? There's no way that Dimo would have known that this guy was over here invis. Well, look, it's dark in that corner. Usually this room is pretty well lit. I know there's RNG with some of the things being off sometimes, at least in my understanding. But a lot of the time people turn those things off. People also come in here and fight a lot of the time. This is a pretty central room you can see here on the map. Players will often get into fights in this area. Also, it doesn't, at least from this brief situation, usually this room is also filled with goblins all the way around. So if there's no goblins in here, chances are there's probably a player that's either in the room or has already been in the room or is probably nearby. Again, seeing the torch that's off in the darkness, you always have to be careful. Dimo's a cautious player. He likes to listen and look around corners and things. It's not that hard to explain. I just explained it to you pretty straightforwardly. If he really can't fathom that there's any way that this guy knew that other rogue was hiding in a dark spot, which is what rogues typically like to do, then I just feel like he's stretching here. He's trying to find a reason to blame Dimo for cheating when there really isn't much of a reason. Also, the jump back, that seems a pretty standard response to me, to jump either back or to the side or whatever. And obviously he clicks his invis, right? Which he kind of wasted because he made way too much movement to use it, but it was probably a panic click I've panic activated things. I've fat fingered. Excuse me. I've fat fingered abilities and wasted them. So again, it's really not that hard to fathom. Again, there's some more clipping going on. I don't know what's happening here. This is that room that he was in. I don't know if he's currently chasing that other guy. There's a dead player here. I don't really understand what's happening. He's kind of going in between clips and not really properly talking about things or showing things. He doesn't get any enjoyment out of this. Sure, he doesn't. This is what he does. He makes YouTube videos. If he didn't enjoy it, why would he do it? Video. A poke at Dimo. Dimo likes to, because I say, sorry, let me rephrase that. It's not that he likes to. Sorry, I didn't start that one yet either. Let's go to a Dimo video. Did you hear that? That's how he pronounces it. That's part of his accent. He says video. This guy, sorry, I'm losing my tabs here. This guy mocks him, in my opinion, by saying, it's expected to see it in the next video. In my opinion, he doesn't have much of an accent, this guy. Not that I really hear. As an American, one who speaks American English. Also, why would you want to see that in his next video? It's like you're some kind of, I saw it in the comments of this video, I believe. He says, I'm sorry I had to do this. Also, my English sucks. I meant to say war on cheating, not anti-cheat. My bad. What do you, again, dude, what are you talking about? Your English is fine. Probably better than a lot of people who might be worried about their English. I just don't understand. Anyway, and I forgot my train of thought. There's somebody in a comment section that said something about this guy Wilson's game being a jealous ex-girlfriend, saying, "Oh, you know, I was expecting to see Dimo address this in his next video." But anyway. See? Oh, he's sad that he didn't say his name, and as he's looting him. Big deal. So what? Are you gonna cry about it? I'm not sure if this was better than this. Typically, this copper light stuff is better. I don't know what he was going for exactly. He also has a cloak here and a cloak here. You know, he probably killed somebody else and took their stuff. He skipped an entire engagement. No, you're clipping these out of context, buddy. More just things that he was saying that didn't add up and don't make sense. Like, what do you're not even telling us what those things are. Also, you're not letting us hear what he's saying. You're just talking over these things. The way you set this up and are presenting this is not the best way that you could have gone about this, even if it is true. He's cutting stuff. No, you're cutting stuff out of context. Again, buddy, you are cutting the clips out of context, putting them together. In this next video here, in this beginning part of his video, he's like, yeah, I was cutting things out of context. Let's see if I think it's right here at the beginning. Now it's just weird things, right? This is his two. This is his follow-up video. This is in response to Dimo's video here that maybe I'll share a little bit of. And I'm sorry this is going long. I'm just trying to address all the stuff that this guy is trying to say. This Wilson guy. But yeah, let's listen in. There you go. He admits it himself. He cut things up for entertainment value. Which, I'm sorry, if you're trying to make like a more serious toned video, or you're literally accusing someone of cheating, even though you start off your video by saying, please don't accuse anybody or please don't harass anybody. Here you go. Here's his disclaimer. Please don't spread hate or harass anyone in this video. Okay, but you blurt out their names. How are we supposed to know who it is, right? Obviously, we see who it is. He shows the name sometimes. His blurring is inconsistent, as I've already pointed out. He says, form your own opinions with your own research and observations. Well, there's not much way to do that, to my knowledge. Anyway, let's go back to... Let's just go back here to this aimbot clip. All right. Let's read that. He aims badly and poorly, but the aimbot activates when he attacks, and the aim starts shaking as if he had Parkinson's. It is set to the center of the body, and it keeps jumping. And moving away from there when he attacks. The aimbot fights with his bad aim and ends up hitting. Funny how he does this and still publishes the video. I don't see that at all, really. I don't understand what they're trying to say. Let's go ahead and watch. He's trying to say that little brief, as you can see the aim here, there's the cursor, and when he threw the axe, the little Francisca axe he has equipped here, when he threw it, what he does is called a flick. You can flick your aim, right, to aim at the last second. What I've seen with aimbot, at least in other games, when there's aimbot is spastic. It's constantly changing this cursor here and aligning it with like a character's head. And I'm sure you can align it to the center of a person's body. I'm sure you can do different things with aimbot. But typically when you see an aimbot, the aimbot goes straight for the head of the enemy. That's where you're going to do the most damage in video games. That's how it typically works. But let's listen. I'm pretty sure that didn't even hit. Look where the cursor is. In slow motion, it's obviously going to look more like that, but that was still not like a snap, right? It didn't go whoop right to it. It was like you can, like when he doesn't play it in slow-mo, you can see with that first clip he shared before, it was a fling of the wrist, and then he followed through a little bit but kind of redirected so he could stay looking at the door. Dimo points this out himself in his response video, but I'm also just going to share it. When you're using the magic missile spell as a wizard, the wizard guy that's behind this door here, you can't move while you're shooting magic missile. So if you start moving while you're shooting magic missile, you cancel the magic missile and you don't get them all off, and that wastes a use. Whichever you key the spell memory to, Q or E. But that wastes the use of one of those spells, which you'd have to rest to recharge. The wizard has a meditation ability. But anyway, that kind of addresses, players move. Well, guess what? He was literally standing still. So Dimo, right, you can see again here, TTV Dimo as a fighter. He threw the axe at a stationary target, which is not really that hard, especially when you have 3,500 hours, I think is what Dimo says he has in his I got accused of cheating video. Alright, here's a different experience. If he had aimbot, he wouldn't have gone right to this log. That was clearly a 180 flip. He knew the guy was going through and behind him and is clearly trying to run away. Oh wow, he jumped from there to there. I can admit that that does seem just a little suspicious. But if it really was that obvious, I'm pretty sure we'd see a lot more clipping. Because if you continue to watch through this clip, which we will, you'll see that it's not what he's saying it is. Oh, sorry, he skips again and cuts things out of context. Here he's claiming that because he turned around like that and threw it here, that there was a aimbot again that locked onto somebody behind this pillar. But if that was the case, why did he just throw it at the floor here? Also, in Dimo's video, once again, Dimo's response video, he explains this situation and says that he was hearing things behind him, and so he turned to throw the axe. Obviously there's nothing there, there's nobody there. In this room, again, with all these lifts and things, you can hear the enemies and people from below where these lifts are located, and sometimes you can hear their movement. Sometimes movement kind of echoes. Sometimes the spiders and monsters sound closer than they are, especially if these have moved. People can bring the monsters with them sometimes if they're unfortunate enough to do that. So again, also not really selling me on the aimbot here. I mean, that is a little suspicious if there really is somebody behind this pillar, but I don't see anybody over there. Where? Oh, wow, there's a guy right there. It would have made more sense that he was hiding in that dark corner because I didn't see him come around. If you watch a little further ahead, he says, where? You're saying right here. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. I'm pausing and playing too. There's nothing there. He was probably in that darkness right there in that corner. Oh, that guy isn't even behind the pillar. He was coming down this way. Oh, look, now he's there. Again, though, if you go back, even crouched. Sorry, I went back too far. Even crouched. That was not the trajectory. That was not like... That's the bottom of the pillar. That would have been like right here at the bottom of the pillar. If this guy really is hiding behind there and you follow line of sight, this dude is probably like right here, not right here. Alright, here he accuses him of aimbotting with a dagger at like point blank range. Oh yeah, he was way off. And that's totally what an aimbot does. And look, I've never used aimbot, so I don't understand all the intricacies. But when I have seen aimbots being used, it's pretty blatantly obvious that they're using an aimbot. And if I can explain something to you guys with the mechanics of this game again, whenever you're attacking with a weapon, whether it's a Chris dagger, whether it's a long sword, right? The long sword is mostly what you see, or a Zweihander, or a what do they call it? It's not a scimitar or a falchion. Maybe it is a falchion. Anyway, there's like a shorter sword that you can use, that you can swing, and as you can see, what he does is he does swing, right, from side to side. But you can do that, right? You can swing like he just did, and you can move your cursor, and as long as the hitbox for your weapon, while the attack animation is happening, right, while there's damage being dealt by that hitbox, goes through the player model, it will do damage. And you can see that he hit him in the arm, which is where the splattering effect comes from. That's where this player got hit, was in the arm. Another arm hit. Another arm hit. Followed maybe by a head hit. And with the bleed or puncture, he's going to puncture through the PDR, the physical damage reduction. He's going to rupture, causing them to bleed and take damage over time. And he's moving left to right. And this guy in the video is saying, I'm not that good with the Chris dagger. I don't always land my hits. Well, guess what? Some people are worse at the game than others. I'm not very good at the game. That's why I don't have videos of Dark and Darker. I enjoy playing it. I've tried to follow some of the strategies that Dimo has shared in his videos, where he goes around and he kind of just bum rushes people to try to get some kills, to try to get some content, to try to fight people that are geared, and show some strategies that you can use, to try to show some builds that you can use, along with the perks and the abilities and the attributes you can use on your armor pieces and weapons and things to help you do more damage or to have faster attack, etc. But let's keep watching these claims. Also, if you know what you're doing, it's really not that hard to hit with a weapon. If people are blocking, you're going to be hitting their shield, but if their shield wasn't there, you would have made contact with their player model, and then you would have done damage. With the Chris dagger, you're basically point blank range. So as long as you're keeping up with them, as long as you're following them with your cursor, as long as you're following them along, he's mostly getting hits on the arm. Looks like maybe he gets a hit in the pelvic region. Again, this is kind of absurd to me that these are the claims being made. I mean, Rogue, which he's playing right now, which is what these perks are and these abilities are, why he'd be using a Chris dagger, and it's purple, which I guess really isn't relevant to whether he's cheating or not. You move really fast as a rogue. As long as you move your mouse fast, you can move quickly with your aim, especially as a rogue, especially with a dagger. Daggers are the lightest weapons in the game, and they not only have the highest DPS potential, they also have the highest speed. Right? You can attack faster with knives. I just don't understand where these claims are coming from. It seems like maybe he got killed by Dimo a couple times and thought it was suspicious and felt the need to make this video, which seems to be the whole premise. And I don't know how much more of this video I'm going to go through. He keeps trying to say that there's other instances of aimbot. It looks like he goes through this thing again, like maybe with some faster speed. Oh, actually this might be a different clip he cuts to here. Let's watch this one. So this video here, it looks like he is watching Dimo's video clearly as I'm watching his video. And it looks like he kind of fast forwards a little bit and skips. You can clearly see that as he's dragging along this bar to go to a different section of his video, and he goes ahead to where there's this fight, but he doesn't show before where there's probably some context. You can flick attacks like that. That's a mechanic of the game. He says it's suspicious, but obviously he's being chased by this guy. He's going to know this guy's behind him, and you can make some pretty quick movements, especially with those throwing weapons, which are probably even faster attack speed than any of the other weapons, even the daggers. Not impossible. That's an absurd claim. Yes, he's right. It's just an opinion, and you should form your own instead of accusing somebody of cheating. But clearly that's what he's attempting to do, is say, oh, this looks really suspicious. But he's not outright saying it's cheating because he doesn't want to get in trouble for saying that he's cheating, I would assume. So if you pay attention to this clip, I'll rewind it again. If you listen, did you hear the staticky sound? That's a wizard ability. He then says, looks like we have somebody fighting here. He could hear them fighting, whether that meant that they are down below here because they could have been down below, or as you see, if he when he turns, well, he backs up. That is a door over here. Also, again, like I said earlier, he noticed that there's a dead goblin. There's a dead goblin over there. Enemies in the area have been killed. That means players are probably nearby. There's a goblin down there. He hears the lift moving, which I think is the one in the middle, actually. There's lights out over here. You said he heard footsteps. Oh, look. That guy was clearly moving. This guy did not see Dimo. Obviously, or if he did and he went invisible, this guy doesn't know where Dimo went. He turns around and clearly doesn't see Dimo still. Maybe he finally does when he turns around all the way. Look, he already saw Dimo. What do you mean you can't do that? It doesn't happen in this game to have that much knowledge. There are lots of people with all kinds of knowledge who are really good at games and who really know what they're doing. If you want to claim that this guy it's not possible, I just don't feel like that's a genuine. I feel like you're being disingenuous by saying that. Dimo, again, like I explained earlier, Dimo knows what abilities people are probably going to be running, whether it's hide, whether it's rupture, whether it's puncture. You could probably, a lot of the time, the rogues like to run puncture and rupture. Dimo is clearly running the hide perk, which lets you turn invisible and take a few steps. It's really not that hard to try and piece things together. Most people probably don't think that way. This guy clearly doesn't think that way. If he's accusing Dimo of not being able to think that way, that it's not possible. You can know those things approximately. even if you're a kitted player, even if you have a kit, there's base health for a rogue, and there's an average amount of health for a rogue. Sure, they could have a high health pool or whatever. Maybe they have items that buff their health, but it's not going to be that much of a difference. The same for fighters, the same for warlocks. And if you've memorized those health pools that each player has, and the amount that is respective to the health pool, like say 150 HP, I believe is about average for the rogue. It might be a little bit, or no, I'm sorry. I think 150 HP is average for the fighter. I'd have to go in and look myself. I don't keep tabs on those things, but I know that Dimo does. That's what he centers. Sorry, excuse me. That's what he centers his builds around, is the abilities or bonuses that you can get on armor pieces and weapons. And he kits out specifically for certain builds and things. So he's saying this is sus gameplay, and there's no way that Dimo can know these things, and that there's no way that Dimo can play the way he plays. But Dimo has played for 8 months. He also has devoted his life, I guess, or his career is this game. He makes videos, he spends a lot of time editing those videos, etc. That's what he talks about in this video, which is about an hour long, which is pretty much what I'm approaching. The warlock he just fought. What are you talking about? Did I skip that part? I didn't see a warlock in this fast scroll. He fought a rogue. That's a rogue, not a warlock. Everything Dimo does is centered around going after the most geared players in the lobby. Dimo also talks about this in his video again. You can go listen to his video. You can watch any one of his videos. I'm not sponsored by Dimo. This is like my first like drama type video. I've always wanted to make YouTube content. Blah, blah, blah. Dimo always goes after the high geared players as long as he can in the lobby. He goes around and inspects players to see what kind of gear they have, to see if he can challenge them head on. Or to see what strategies he should try. Obviously, these clips are still out of context, still without really much explanation as to why it really is cheating as opposed to it not being cheating. But we'll, I guess, keep watching a little bit more. This time Dimo's playing as a a cleric. Clerics are slow. Look, there's a couple of dudes. As he just said, and I'm going to repeat what he's saying or say the exact same thing he's saying. They're like, let's be friends, but he's chasing them down. I think this guy is the other one talking, right? The guy running away is saying, let's be friends. This guy is the one that's saying, he just killed the troll, let's go after him, kind of a thing. That guy that's running is saying brother rogue. He's trying to team, which has been a controversial subject here in this game. Again, clerics are slow if he's chasing this guy, blah, blah, blah. All right, and this is Wilson versus Dimo, apparently. He just admits to being outplayed and outgamed. He doesn't say that it was cheating. He doesn't say that it was suspect. That's what rogues do. They hide in shadows, they sit and wait, and once somebody gets killed, that's their chance to strike because they know the other surviving player is more than likely going to be low health, which is the perfect time for them to try and get a kill. Why would the rogue be third partying? There you go, there's your answer. Why he didn't take the opportunity? And again, I'm saying things that Dimo himself has also said. He didn't third party because guess what? He's going to wait until you kill each other. That's the smarter thing to do. Gonna risk, losing more health and being attacked by one or the other, or having those two turn on you for third partying? Probably not. Again, Demo checks people in the lobby. You can go inspect people in the lobby and see what they're wearing and see what kind of gear they have. So if you remember and you recognize them and say, oh yeah, that guy doesn't really have anything. Typically you can tell by their physical character model if they have decent things or not. Not always, but most of the time. Also in this video, Demo talks about how he doesn't typically like to go after like the people that don't have very good gear. He's trying to create content. He's trying to go after the people that have good gear. Not only to get that good gear as a loot bonus, but also just to show that his builds and his skills are top tier. You saw that guy? Oh, look, there's another guy. There was two people over there fighting. That rogue just came through the door. There's another guy in that other room. So there's people like all around Demo. So he's like, oh shoot. Those are both misses, by the way. Where's the aimbot? Where's that aimbot he was complaining about in those two clips? Lesser obvious of cheating? Dude, you gotta learn how to explain yourself. It felt unnatural. What, that you were getting outplayed, that you literally admitted to before you go on to watch this clip? I'm sorry, but this is just sad. And then admits, oh, I didn't really know what to think of it. I just thought he was an extremely skilled player. And then he clips back to this. Also, is this the same fight? Is this a different fight? He leaves. He leaves this situation, right? He goes to a different clip. This is a totally different clip. Probably a totally different person. This is clearly quite a bit later. It looks like the same kill feed, right? You can see Phil the Axe. But then Phil the Axe, look, Demo killed somebody else. Demo waited, and then Demo killed Wilson's Game. But we don't even see that. Where does he kill him? He just cuts to this where there's North Korean spy, and he comes in on him in this room. And he knew that there were other players around because this is that same match that we were just watching where there was a rogue fighting another guy. And then there was another guy in another room, and then there was another guy who obviously got killed. which leads us to this situation. And I'm sure he maybe didn't know about this, but if we go back, if this is the same door, which I don't think it is, I wish we could get an angle. I think it might be that door that we're looking at right now, right here. There's that lantern or torch. Oh, no, it's not. Never mind. I'm not sorry, I keep trying to talk over the video. I'm not sure where that other door is, where sorry, I keep saying lantern too, where the torch was turned off. I don't know where that is. If it's, oh no, see, I think it is this door because that torch is on. So if he had the memory and that door is still open, which I think he closes it behind him, but that door is still on. So if what we're seeing here is not actually Wilson that he's fighting, which I think it's supposed to be in this clip right now that he's fighting, I think that's supposed to be Wilson, but I'm not entirely sure because we see in the feed later that it says that Wilson dies, but I think this rogue is actually North Korean spy. But then we cut to later, so he comes back through here. This torch is now off. That torch right there is now off. Why did that change things for you? Is this where he gets killed by Dimo? Because this is a totally different character. He's not a rogue. He's a cleric. Clerics are slow. He's a fighter. He just used his quick thing. He didn't use it soon enough. He also didn't use his second wind soon enough, which he just used now. He tried to juke him. That was smart, but then he just stood there. Okay, so look, this is a ranger. Dimo was the guy over on this side. Oh, look, there comes Dimo. Where did Dimo come from? I don't know, but look, Dimo got the kill on him, probably because he was third partying or waiting or who knows what. He was probably hiding in the shadows and wandering around waiting to get a kill on this guy. And then he does, but he doesn't even talk about it and he ends the video right there. What's up with that? This whole time he's shown all these other clips and all these other things that are, oh, so suspicious. And how did he even watch those spectation games? I don't understand how that works. Can you just spectate a random player whenever you want? Where did he meet up with Dimo in all these games, so many different matches? These clips were so unbelievable in my opinion. That he was even sharing them as proofs. They're the softest proofs ever. But I just want to end it with this clip. If this is actually no, I don't think that was the full clip. I'm going to see if I can find that other clip really quick. He says it's aimbot, and maybe he only does it in the first section. Right here. No, I already showed you that. I'm already at an hour here, and I apologize for this video being so long. I just can't believe that this is a video that this Wilson game guy shared. There's this clip where maybe it is in the aimbot part. This one. I guess he doesn't say it. There's a clip with this part that I feel like is a little bit longer, and he says, if that's not aimbotting, I don't know what aimbotting is. And this guy's comment is spot on. Brother, I hate to tell you this, but you don't know what an aimbot looks like. He tries to claim that little... that's aimbot. You know what? Maybe it is. But if he actually played this clip out right here in full instead of cutting away from it, you would see that when he actually ends up throwing the axe, which he clearly didn't do at that point, it followed the character model along shakily, as you would, trying to see which way, right? If they're going to go to the left or the right, you're kind of following along to see which way they're going to move. Anyway, I'm at an hour. This is way too long of a video. Hopefully you guys made it this far. If not, that's totally fine. Obviously you wouldn't be hearing me say this if you weren't listening or watching still. Maybe what I should do is cut this video up a little bit, but that is my synopsis. This guy is kind of ridiculous in my opinion. I don't know. I don't know why he decided to make this video. He makes a follow-up video, and maybe I'll go watch that one and review it too. Dimo addresses a lot of these points. Understandably frustrated. He also goes and reviews everything and explains things a little more in detail. He even shares some of his clips. Goes and looks up his own videos and says, oh yeah, this is what I was doing in this game. I remember this game. I remember this video. Anyway, I will end the video here. Thanks for watching. Please like and comment down below. I don't know that I'll really be making much YouTube content, to be honest. So if you liked it, thank you. If I get a lot of support for this video, maybe I'll continue to cover drama like this. But I will go ahead and stop the video here. Again, thanks for watching. Comment down below, share your own thoughts. Let me know if I was off anywhere. And yeah, thanks so much. Maybe I'll see you guys in the dungeon. I play all kinds of games, so yeah, thanks again. Bye-bye.